Looking out into this crowd, I can't help but think if Laverne was here, she would be in heaven on earth. All of her favorite people in one place at one time. And Brad has told me since Thursday afternoon that Mama Laverne, who was the most kindest, gentlest soul, would be throwing rocks at me for wishing her back here in this mean old world. And I know he's right. But I'm so thankful that all of y'all are here today to honor her. I want to start out by introducing myself. I'm Brad Crane's wife and Carter Crane's mama. And if you Archer Cityans don't know those two yahoos, I'm Barney and Diana Oliver's daughter and Staten and Ruth Oliver's granddaughter. I grew up with Laverne. She lived on the Hastings Ranch, and I lived not far from her. She was the gentlest lady I ever met. I would love to be like her. She loved everyone she met. She never met a stranger. She loved kids, especially wild, silly, crazy ones. And I think that's why she liked her car Crane so much. She collected horses and huts. She loved to bake sweets. And her famous salad was the bomb diggity. And if you have had that salad, you know it is so good. And Carrie B. Singer, I don't know if you're here, but I'm actually renaming it Laverne's Fruit Salad. Then there were her firecrackers. We got them every Christmas. They were amazing. Oh, how I wish I had asked her for that recipe. I just always depended on her to have them. Laverne was brave, very brave, braver than she ever knew. She met adversity, and although she might have been timid about it, she would always prevail. She was a born caregiver, always thinking of others before herself. Luke Smith was a very big blessing to her, but I guarantee you she was an even bigger blessing to him. Her heart was as big as Texas, maybe even bigger. Her work ethic was amazing. She was a worrier, but oh, how she loved life with her friends and her rat babies. If you didn't know her, you missed out. She rivaled me with talking, and a lot of times Brad and Carter were like this. Like they were watching a tennis match, and there's no telling how many eye rolls were exchanged between the two of them. Her rheumatoid arthritis will not get the best of her anymore. She doesn't have to pick up one more dang feed sack or have any negative in her life. No more worrying about money or if the pickups were going to make it another year. She lived a very simple life. She didn't need much. She just needed her friends and maybe hugs. She wasn't just my friend. She truly was a sister. I just wish I had told her that before she had to go and be with our Lord and Savior. I wish I hadn't taken her for granted, but that is something I will use as a teachable moment. Please ask your loved ones what you could do for them in case of emergency. I'm very sorry to her cousins that I didn't ask her who to contact so that you didn't have to find out on Facebook. Tell your loved ones if there's something special you would like at your funeral. And the most importantly, just tell them you love them. I pray that her service will be something that she would be proud of. We mirrored it to Luke's, although it isn't exact, because she was a different person. But she was so proud of how his service went. And she was so thankful for the love and respect that was shown there. So I know that she would be proud. You couldn't say Luke without saying Laverne, just like you can't say peas without carrots, or Jerome without Larry, for these Archer Countyans here that know Jerome and Larry Bird. I got a thought of that one morning and I had to giggle about that. When we talked on the phone or through Facebook message, I love you was always shared at the end, and for that I am thankful. She knew she was loved. Thank you for all of you that have crossed her paths on a daily basis. You will never know how much that lady loved your kindness. And if you ever hugged her before y'all parted ways, I will tell you that meant more to her than all the diamonds and gold. I'm so thankful Laverne allowed my family into her tribe. What an honor and a blessing to have been associated with probably the gentlest woman I've ever known. Kristen, I have probably forgotten 5 million things, so if you could please add them, I would appreciate it. And I want to let y'all know that I will be collecting Laverne's hugs from now on, so feel free.
A lot of you know me. For those that don't, I'm Kristen Morrison. I'm married to Bobby. And I knew Laverne. I knew of her my whole life, but I really didn't get to know her until the last 3 or 4 years. Got really close this last year. And I wanted to start off with reading a few of her friends posted on Facebook. And I told Tracy Spivey that I would read hers because they were very, very close. They were like family. Tracy wrote, I really got to know her shortly before Luke passed. She was shy and struggled with lack of confidence, but she cared for Luke with dignity and love, and a love loved one shares with a parent. He was her trail boss, and he taught her how to take care of herself. I think he would be so proud of the confident, determined, and strong woman she became. It didn't come easy, and I had to practice tough love with her sometime. I'd listen to her and give her time to sort out whatever situation had risen. Then I'd gently remind her, Laverne, pull up those bootstraps. You can do this. This is a drop in the bucket to what you have already been through. We have shared laughs, tears, hugs, endless conversations about dogs, horses. She could quote any horse's breeding in the next 3 counties, I bet. Me, I could barely remember my own name. I will miss those words at the end of our visits. I love you, girl. If you were blessed to be in her circle of friends, then you were most blessed. We welcomed her with open arms to share in our family gatherings, and y'all seen a lot of those pictures in the slideshow. She would ask, what can I bring? And I'd say, duh, buttermilk salad. I have so many stories, but now they are my memories of a life taken away too soon. I'm so thankful that our paths crossed, and I'm a better person because of you. I love you, girl. Laverne, she was one of the best friends that I've had. She would always ask, how Bobby and the kids were, and truly meant it, and you knew it. Because if she asked, then you knew that she really meant it. Everything she said. She always offered to help wherever needed, to just give her a call and she'd be there. I couldn't make it to the feed store one day, so I called to have her leave 2 sacks of feed out for me, and she wouldn't have it. She wouldn't leave them out for me. She brought them all the way to my house, and she helped me unload them. She was one of the hardest workers I've ever known. Anytime you would go to the feed store, she was always doing something, whether it be moving the feed around, unloading the truck, watering the plants, helping customers. You name it, she did it. And she loved every single bit of it, too. She loved all of her customers. And I guarantee you, she brought more business into that feed store than anybody ever could. she always offered that if we needed a babysitter, she was more than glad to babysit our boys. But the only way was if we left her some Ace for Lane and some Banamine in case one of them got an upset stomach or got sick. That was the only circumstances. I was going back through our Facebook messages last night, and there was over 5,700 of them. Some of my favorite ones was at Halloween, she handed out candy at the First Baptist Church in the parking lot at their trunk or treat. And she told me, she said, "You know, I caught myself shaking the bucket of candy at the kids like you would a feed sack." And only you horse people will get this one. But here recently, she had to start wearing a CPAP mask for her sleep apnea that she had. And she sent me a message. This was Tuesday, December the 6th. She said, "I finally got my new CPAP mask last night. Was nice not to have to sleep in a ponytail like I had been doing to keep the bonnet tie down one in place." You don't have horses, you probably don't even understand. You wouldn't even understand what a bonnet tie down was, but all I could picture was Laverne wearing a bonnet tie down to sleep in. On November 18th, she shared a post on Facebook and it said, "Stay humble, work hard, and be kind." She wrote, "Good rules to live by. I sure try to do these." And she did just that. Her last post was Wednesday, December the 7th. At 7:54 p.m. She shared this post and it said, "Always believe that something wonderful is going to happen. Even with all the ups and downs, never take a day for granted. Cherish the little things and hug the ones you love." This described Laverne and exactly how she lived. And on that, always believe something wonderful is going to happen. Through this tragedy, I've made so many new friends. Heather and her family that I didn't even know she had. And I'm thankful for that. And cherish the little things. The smallest thing that I'm going to cherish is a little red flashlight that my little boy bought Wednesday. I went in there and got feed. And she said, she was always showed Lane around and everything. Well, Lane wanted this red flashlight and he kept begging me for it. And I told him, "No, I'm not buying you a flashlight." And he said, "Well, I got money at home, Mom." And Laverne said, "Well, go break into your piggy bank and you can get it." And so we went home and 2 hours passed. And I tried to talk Lane out of that flashlight. I said, "Don't you want to buy a toy?" And he said, "No, Mom." He said, "I want a toy, but," he said, "I really want that flashlight today." So we counted his money and we took it back up there. And he handed the money to the counter and she said, "This is the best sale that I've ever made." That's pretty big for being there for over 10 years. And she come around the corner and she gave Lane a big hug. And the last message I sent her that night was of Lane in his underwear running through the house playing with that flashlight. And it just made her day. She was having a hard day at work. And she said it made her day. So that's what I'm going to cherish from now on. She was one of my best friends, and she wouldn't want us crying over her. She'd want us to just laugh and talk.